Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Bag up, bag up.
Bag up, bag up.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by dealsinthed.com. As always, Mike and Jay here. Big E is here. Shalom, Big E. How are you, Jay?
Happy to be with you.
I like that sweatshirt.
Oh, thank you.
I say it every time you wear it. Gab's got the coolest sweatshirt for her training center.
She does.
That GB
Training
Center. Yeah.
In Lake Orion, Michigan.
Yeah, you went away from the Live Live thing, didn't you? Because
stop it.
It was causing problems.
Just stop it.
You're in good company. Guns N' Roses, I still don't know if that album was Live Like a Suicide or Live Like a Suicide. You know what I mean? That live album they had?
Yeah.
Assuming it was
Are
live.
those smelling salts over there? Because, again, we don't have any. We didn't have one pre-show, which was weird.
I don't know where that bag came from.
And now see a bag. Oh, dude, you know who that came from?
Who?
Eduardo.
You think?
I'll bet you.
They look partially used.
No,
or maybe
they do.
some.
E, did you dig those out of the garbage?
No, I did not. So I don't. They were.
You're right.
I assume that's where
it
it came from. I assume
All right.
that's what happened.
Take two. There you go.
There we go.
Just had him at.
Oh! Oh, God! Lord God Jesus, help me.
Oh, Lord.
Bag up, bag up.
Oh, Lord! Lord, Jesus! Oh, Lord! Oh, Jesus!
All right, ready to go. Woo!
Woo! Let's fire this show up. Exciting day today. Good day to be here. Mike Lindell's people. Mike Lindell. His people reached out to us this morning. We're like, hey, you want to take some time and talk to Mike today?
Yes, yes.
We're like, yeah, of course we will. I guess he's down in Texas or something, just doing God's work, helping out victims of the flood and hurricane and all that kind of stuff. So
God's got his hand in this, and I truly believe that.
so we'll check in with him. Always fun to talk to him. I think he's going to call us actually in a half hour. So we'll look for his call. Lots of other stuff going on. I love when I wake up in the morning and I see Ted Cruz's name trending.
Yeah.
It's just...
What did that son of a bitch do?
You know, I hope it's not... I assume it's not some, like, bill he's trying to get through the Senate floor or something dumb.
Something great for the American people?
Yeah, it's usually going to be something along the lines of, you know, his daughter, you know, turned to... This like, ugh, when she saw him.
No, I would have
her.
assumed it was Texas hurricane related. Like, oh, Ted's stepped out front to get airtime over his great ability to help people in Texas. I'm just here rolling up my sleeves
For the
helping
people.
the American people.
Just want to help for the people. Ask them what they need. What is it that you need? I need you to get out of my face, man. I just lost everything in that hurricane. So, yeah, no, he was trending for a different reason this morning.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this yet, but
I've seen it.
Monday night, he started trending on Twitter. It's for one of the most ridiculous reasons ever. Right around midnight, which is always a dangerous time. When you see me tweeting at midnight, it means I'm probably half in the bag.
Okay.
And I imagine with Ted Cruz, if he's on Twitter at midnight, it's not going to be about working for the people.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. He's
probably not hanging out with Heidi at that point.
Yeah, Heidi's going to bed after
Heidi
a glass and a
Tyne.
half of wine.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Heidi Tyne.
Really, Ted? That's the song.
Nerd!
You are such a nerd.
He was asked by Anderson Cooper to name one song that he liked.
That he liked, or that him and his girl shared, or something. It was just such a weird.
I think it was like one song that's meant something to you in your life.
And he came out with "Oh my darling,
Yeah.
oh my darling, oh my darling, Heidi Tyne."
Like Kasich busts out like, "Oh yeah, The Wall." You know, I love the whole album.
Yeah,
You know, how
Zeppelin
can
4.
I pick? He's like, "Well, let me think of a song here."
Heidi Tyne. Oh, what a dork. Anyway, he got caught liking an extremely not safe for work video on Twitter.
Tedley.
Yeah.
Oh, Theodore.
The video featured a couple people banging on a couch while a woman watched. And the like was removed almost immediately. Like he realized what he'd done. Yeah, there's the video. Does it play?
This is just a Google image of the tweet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, somebody screenshot it.
Oh, yeah. So he was like, oh, nope, didn't mean to like that. Just
That's
gonna
awesome.
jack off to it really quick, but didn't mean to like that.
Ooh.
And it wasn't taken down fast enough because there were quite a few people that saw it and screen grabbed it.
Well, that's not in line with his principles.
Yeah. So he explodes on Twitter, and he didn't attempt to explain how his account ended up liking the video.
Hold on, go back to his Twitter description. father of 2, Heidi Cruz's husband, fighter for liberty, representing the great state of Texas in the U.S.
In the U.S. Senate, part-time vampire.
Nerd.
Oh, at Heidi Cruz's
Full-time
husband.
nerd.
Look at that. How do I make it look like she's the one that wears the pants in this family? I'm number 2 in this household. I'm simply Heidi Cruz's husband.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he didn't say anything, but he was on the phone immediately. Just, oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, gosh darn it. Look what I've done now. Look what I've done. And so at about 3 o'clock in the morning, his communications advisor, Catherine Frazier, addressed it in a tweet. Said something. I don't even have what she said exactly, but yeah, sadly for Ted, he's going to have to say something eventually. Like,
what did the communications person say?
Yeah, you know what? I think I cut it out of the story. Maybe you can see it on Ted's timeline there. What she said. It was nothing. It was like shit, I don't remember. But see if you can find it there, E. She did address
Dude,
it.
I need to know. I need to know whether it was just like that was a hack.
Yeah.
Was it
there's
oops, several things come over his feed and he accidentally thumbed it
at midnight. Craig Mazin.
I'm not saying I believed it. I'm just saying.
Remember Craig Mazin, who was his roommate at Yale or Harvard,
Yes.
wherever the hell he went.
Hates the guy.
Hates Ted, and it's just like he is such a douche. Nobody liked him, and Craig was pounding on him when Ted was still in the race for president. Well, he jumped on Twitter to say, sadly, the fact that Ted Cruz jacks off to mediocre porn spam is the most human thing we can say about him. This is actually his high point. Jacks off to mediocre porn spam.
Ooh.
Ouch. Many people are also speculating about how he will finally explain himself. And so there's excuse charts going around. And you can vote on them. And, I was hacked is number one. What do you think the other excuses could be?
I think just what I mentioned. Like he gets so many things on his feed that he was scrolling through and it accidentally hit like.
Yeah, well, I was hacked is a big one. I was drunk. He wouldn't say that. It was not me. It was a staffer. Blame a staffer or pray for me.
Blame the staffer. I think that's what he's going to do.
A lot of people initially want to go with, I was hacked. I don't know how it got there. I was hacked, but that doesn't work anymore. Like, I don't think just claiming you were hacked. Like, who's going to hack you and just like
one thing? No, they're going to No, they're going to post you in a porn.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're just saying, good luck getting out of this one.
Boy.
This is the world they create, though.
Exactly.
That shouldn't be a big deal. You should be able to look at that and just go, whatever, man. It's midnight.
Yeah, you've created this glass house in which you live, dude.
Yeah. That you have to be perfect. From the time you're 10 going forward, you have to be Mr. Perfect. Did it say,
on his Twitter, there was nothing that said.
See if you can... Sorry, I knew I should have had that. Where's her name? Catherine Frazier. She's communications director for Ted Lee.
Hey, we are excited to welcome the full DealsInTheD.com family to the Detroit Cast. It all started with Zott Ford during our original Kickstarter campaign, and now the entire Zott family has come upon us. That's gross. Welcome, Zott M59, Dodge Ram in Highland, Zott M59, Chrysler Jeep in White Lake, and Zott M59 in Toyota in Waterford, and of course, Zott Ford in Holly. Go check out all of their inconceivable deals and massive inventory at DealsInTheD.com.
Any lucky? Did you find her on Twitter? No?
I don't know. I don't have it right now, so.
All right, we'll come back to it. But I'm going to need you here, E, so maybe we'll have to come back to it way later. The other guy that was doing quite a bit of trending.
Oh, here, I guess, sorry about it. Here we go, I guess.
You got it?
I guess this is her Twitter.
Okay.
Catherine, we welcome back and we will honor our promise by keeping her...
Maybe not. That's her Twitter account.
Yeah,
so.
scroll down. It was at like 3 in the morning. So, the offensive tweet posted on Ted Cruz account earlier has been removed by staff and reported to Twitter. Reported to Twitter. Yeah, I knew it was a mundane nothing answer. But you were up at 3 in the morning to address it.
That's kind of a good answer, though, isn't it? Like, without saying it, it blames Twitter. It blames the system.
The offensive tweet.
You
It
know?
was an offensive tweet. Yeah, but...
Because you didn't deny it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you put the blame on someone else.
Yeah, it's been removed and reported to Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, there's some funny business going on here. Instead of, like, old fat thumbs vampiric Ted Cruz just accidentally liked a gross porn thing.
No, that's a great answer. I love that answer.
Well, you're right. She's ducking. This is dodging the actual
Yeah.
question because she's not acknowledging, like, she's not saying Ted
There's-
didn't do this
and there's
or
wiggle.
did.
Yeah, there's wiggle room for him to admit it now, and you can still say, well, it was offensive, and so we want that sort of thing off Twitter. It's unfortunate that stuff gets posted.
Yeah. Ted thought he was unliking it. Thought it would report it, and he realized quickly that no. The fact that it was the thing that makes me think it's Ted and it's not a hack is that it was removed so fast by him.
Yeah.
Like he went, "Oh shit, I can't like the thing that I was just jacking off to." Like if you were going to hack him, you wouldn't unlike it or remove it, delete it.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So it was Ted, dude.
Yeah.
It's Ted. Sorry. I mentioned the other guy that was trending quite a bit this morning, and I wasn't familiar. I watched part of this game, but Sergio Dipp. Mm-hmm. You familiar with Mr. Dipp?
Yeah, I saw Mr. Dipp's work this morning. His fine sideline reporting work. And you and I were talking about sideline reporters off air over the weekend.
Yeah.
As we were so impressed by the one who was part of the Lions game. And I think you made some sort of statement like there are some good ones out there. And I was like, really? Is there?
Yeah.
Have you seen a good sideline report?
Well,
And I think you named a couple dudes or something. But
there are some that are better than others. I just think for the most part, it's as worthless as cheerleaders on the
course.
sideline. It's a pointless thing, and it was usually given to women. You know, they would just stick them out there on the sidelines, and
it's a pretty face.
yeah,
For a bunch
and
of guys. Whoa, she's hot.
it's just it's so stupid to have this idiot chasing a coach down the middle of the field at halftime. Just going, what went wrong in the first half? And it's like, yeah, we got to work harder. We'll fix things in the locker room.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, coach. It's like it's never anything decent or good. I guess there were occasionally moments when you'd get a coach that would yell at someone. I think like Lord Carr would do that from time to time, like go off on a reporter.
What about those moments, though, where you learn because of the rain or the thicker turf that they're going to be changing their shoes to longer cleats?
Yeah, that
Those
stuff
are helpful,
is
correct?
Yeah, that's true. When
That kind of insight.
yeah, when you get in depth like that, normally they would wear a quarter-inch cleat, but they're going in rainy weather they would go with a half-inch cleat. But today, with extreme snow like this, they're going with a 3/4-inch cleat. Back to you, Bob. It's like,
Does that big
cute.
fat loudmouth still do it for Fox? Remember he kind of he'd
Big
sit,
fat. Saragusa.
yeah, he'd say, and he would just sit like in the end zone with his head set on, and he'd
Yeah.
go down to him, and they'd show like an angle way away too, and he'd be like, "Yeah, what I'm seeing down here is, some of these offensive linemen they're working hard or something, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah, he was supposed to provide a more authentic look at the game, right?
Yeah,
that was
'cause-
the deal with the goose.
Yeah, because he was a guy that was in the trenches for years. It was a, but all of they have such small windows of time to do something, and so it's never worth shit. But
They're just trying to make the broadcast more dynamic, though, right?
Yeah.
Take it out of just the two guys in the booth and do something different. And
Yeah.
what else can you really do, right?
well,
So-
you hope for moments like this. I mean, this is what I hope for. It's like the sideline reporter is never going to inform me. I mean, they will literally go down to the field and go down to Pam Oliver on the field and Pam. That injury sure didn't look good. Yeah, that's right, Bill. They carted him back into the locker room. They really haven't told us anything. As soon as they do, we'll be sure to let you know. It's like, okay, well, we know that. I mean, obviously, you're going to let us know as soon as you know something. But what was the point of that exchange
Yeah.
we just did there? Seems kind of pointless.
So here we have young Sergio Dipp, who I think it's his inaugural appearance on Monday
Debut.
Night Football, right? But he's been with ESPN or ABC for a while, I think.
He's like
Deportes.
Yeah, exactly. He's like 29 years old. I think he was hired by ESPN Deportes in 2013. So he's been there a few years, but he speaks the language sort of, but not
English
great.
is his second language.
For
He's
sure.
a Mexican dude.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever. So they throw it to him, and he does one of those classic, like he's supposed to have a report on the coach, the new coach, on the field, and it doesn't go quite as he planned. Go ahead, E. You got it there?
To be with you guys here on the field from up close, just watching Coach Vance Joseph from here. You watch him now on the screen. This diversity in his background is helping him a lot tonight. Quarterback at Colorado, defensive back in the NFL, and here he is having the time of his life this night, making his head coaching debut.
Well put. Oof. It wasn't that bad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It wasn't like it it was a slower news night, thus the Twitter blow up.
Yeah.
It could have been a hell of a lot worse. Everybody's girfed on a microphone before, right? A million times.
Yes.
It just sucks that that's your debut.
Yeah.
And that's what you come up with.
You're totally right, because when I saw it, I was like, who is Sergio Dipp? And I wasn't paying attention when this happened, I guess, in the first quarter. Which game was this? Was this the because there were two games. Is this the
Broncos-Chargers?
Broncos-Chargers, okay. Yeah, but when I watched it, too, I was like, that's not the end of the world. But then I guess he took
it pretty hard. I guess Twitter killed him, and so
Yeah.
he came out with a response video a few hours later. It's him sitting in the hotel room.
Oh, no.
This is so douchey.
No. What is this, on Instagram-y? Or
It's
Twitter?
like
Twitter, okay.
To digest what just happened to a 29-year-old Mexican guy like me.
Mexican guy.
The
Leaning
drama.
on it, yeah.
It's 9/11. I'm in Denver, Colorado,
9/11.
and this is the NFL.
Just listen, dude.
A Monday night football game between the Broncos and the Chargers.
Right.
The drama.
The biggest stage possible.
Not really.
I was studying my elementary school
In Mexico.
September 11, 2001
Oh, no.
in
No.
Calexico, California.
Where's the violin, Z?
Oh yeah, do you want me to play?
Born in
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. But growing up in the American environment as a minority.
Holy
A
shit.
minority
Turns into
like
Trump.
head coaches Vance Joseph and Anthony Lynn. So what I wanted to do was to show some respect, making my debut as a minority on American national TV,
Is he reading part of this?
Yes.
the
I-
biggest stage out there, on the most heartfelt day in this great
Dude,
country
you girfed
This
on
is,
Mike.
made up
This is incredible.
by immigrants.
Holy shit.
And on some people's perspective, it all went wrong. But I truly meant no disrespect.
I know most of you think I'm a rapist,
Because
an impossible murderer.
all I wanted to do
His respect.
was to show some love to these two historical head coaches. Hopefully, I'll have another chance. And be sure, I'll make the most out of it.
What an overdramatic asshole,
Dude,
huh?
that is painfully douchey. How many times did he say Mexican or immigrant or diverse?
Here's what I suspect. I don't know this to be a
Holy
fact,
shit.
but I bet he took a racial beating. I bet there was a lot of
Were there
tweets
really
going
people
to
that
his
go on
race.
going like on 9/11? I can't believe this. Like, were people really hitting him hard because it was
No,
9/11?
no.
Because he seems to mention it a few times.
Yes, he mentions it because he's trying to endear himself
Yeah.
to the country, saying,
Okay.
look, I love this country, and yes, I am Mexican-American, and I made a mistake, but I was trying my best, and here I take the beating.
Yeah.
Dude, that was dramatic, huh?
I think that is so. That to me is the equivalent of Kathy Griffin having her press conference with Gloria Allred, blaming Trump and everybody else, and crying about her shit with the head that she held up. Like it, I know what you're thinking in your head is going to work, but dude, he would have been much better off going. What can you do, man? It was my first time. I'm usually on Deportes, and you know, shit. Hope they give me another chance. I appreciate the pounding on Twitter. At least you guys know who I am now. Hope you give me another chance down the road. Boom,
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Run with it a little bit. Laugh
Yep.
about it. It'll be gone in 24 hours, and then you just wait for your next chance. But dude, he needed violins under him, and he needed some tears.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That was awful. Awful.
And of course, he didn't deserve to be criticized based on his national origin or race.
Well,
or
a
whatever.
little bit, but not a pounding.
Of course he didn't. However, he did deserve to take a pounding. Dude, I don't care if English is your second language. You're hired to get up there and make a statement, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're not hired to stand there and speak in broken English or to fumble around with words.
Yeah.
You're hired to make a statement. You didn't do that. You girfed.
Well, we too often in this country, you know, for the longest time it was like, best guy gets the gig. I don't care what color he is. If this guy's white or black, it doesn't matter. But we've seen this a lot, and I noticed it yesterday when I was watching my Sunday NFL Countdown show. There were a couple times, two incidents that I can think of, where they threw it to someone like, yeah, over to Tom with the blah, blah, blah. And it was like, It looked like amateur TV. It was like, here's a guy that's plucked out. I hate to say it, but it's like, is he there because he's black? Are you trying to meet a quota? What are we doing here? Because this guy is, hold on, the guy is fumbling through his sentence. He can't put it together. And it's like, dude, this is ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. There is no excuse for that shit.
Well, I think
it's way too professional to be putting up with that stuff.
Dude, I think some of that is more, not as much as you're thinking black, like them hiring the black people, but as much as like they're not making any money. They're firing all these people, and they still want to have reporters. If you thought like that they probably don't have them. They're not paying the people that used to be professionals.
That's a good point. The pros have been thinned out over there.
So now they're just kind of taking whatever because
bringing in the JV team.
That's true. And I didn't mean to single out black people. It just so happens the guy I was watching yesterday was a black guy. And it was an awful break that he did. And we've all done them. But at that level, you shouldn't. The John Saunders of the world would be very, very insulted that they're sharing a network. Sam Ponder does not belong hosting Sunday Countdown. Sorry. No offense, but if it's like, well, we need another woman in there. We need another woman in there. And here we are. So for that guy...
Speaking of that, the first female did Monday night last night, didn't they?
Yeah.
Didn't she?
Yep. First female since like 1987. I don't know who that would have been.
Oh, I thought it was the first ever Monday night broadcast.
It's what I read became Beth Mowins became the first woman to call an NFL regular season game since 1987.
It's got to be the first Monday night game, though, right?
Oh, did you say Monday night game? Yeah, probably. I don't know who the hell what female would have been doing it in 1987, though. Anyway, yeah, it's funny. It reminds me. I love these things when they throw it to a reporter somewhere and they blank or the cue cards aren't there or whatever. And so I was kind of scrolling for some that we might not be familiar with, and I found a couple. If you want to check them out.
Which one did you want to start with?
Let's start with that one. This one, and so. This one is so I was simply doing like reporter blanks on TV, and it takes a little bit to get to because she's these other two chicks are in studio and they'll throw it to this girl and she's doing fine, and then
blanks
forgets what she was going to say, and you're better off just bailing on at that point. It's a horrible thing to do to go, dude, I forgot what I was going to say. Back to you, but she did. Go ahead, E.
Well, Debbie, it happened here around this time last night here on Worsley Drive. Now, we're at the entrance of Worsley Park right now where there are two speed bumps. One you can see behind me. It was here that a 17-year-old girl was riding on her skateboard while also holding on to a Jeep.
Oh, no. I'll fix it post, don't worry.
Now, things took a turn when the Jeep hit one of these speed bumps. The girl then fell, and the Jeep ran over her leg and pelvic area. Now, according to the police report, the injuries were not serious, but the girl was rushed to hospital. There's no update at this time on her condition.
Everything's great so far.
In the meantime, the RNC has issued a statement saying that the driver of the vehicle was also a 17-year-old girl. The RNC says calls like this are not common.
Yeah. Now she's walking back and forth.
Calls like this are not common.
She's going to the script.
So what about the RNC?
The RNC says calls like this are not common.
Right.
Now,
see that little live red thing in the corner?
In the meantime, they are urging people to not.
What are they?
Thanks very much to Abney for that. And it is a story that we'll keep an eye on.
She's still walking back and forth.
Oh, that sucks.
Dude, I think she turns and just starts walking away and they get the camera off this idiot. Yeah, this is a terrible story. We will keep updated on this. I know the audio sucked, but I think it was worth it. Don't you think, dude, like if you were doing that, Jay, if we were sitting here and you were going, and Merck...
yeah, you'd help me out,
I would at some point jump in and go... Yeah, Merck's your guy. You want to try to
jog
give
the memory.
Yeah, try to give because that panic mode where it's like, oh god, I don't know where I'm supposed to be.
Oh right now. Got the word right there, trying to think of it. Got the issue right there, trying to think of it. But they did nothing to help.
Nothing. They just sat there.
They just sat there. Gave her enough rope to hang herself.
Yeah. I wonder if there was
keep going back to that RNG or whatever. That'll come to you. They don't feel many calls like this. Their quote was.
I wonder if there was some drama going on between those.
Right.
That they didn't want to help her because, You're right.
Yeah, those two not so hot birds there in studio are looking at this younger chick reporter. It's like, yeah, go ahead, field reporter. You got this. You belong in the bigs.
Right, dude, exactly.
How about anchor versus reporter on air fight?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, these are good when there's just built up tension.
You know what? I'll get a little.
Yeah, you can go forward a little bit. There you go.
We don't tell the elevator company when to work their people.
This is in New York.
They submit a schedule to us. They said they could do the elevator in 6 weeks. So all we're trying to hold them to is meeting their deadline. As far as doing elevator repairs 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, I don't see that as being a typical process, nor is it a typical process to be working on.
I've got to go now. I want to thank you both. Thank you. All right, it's back to you, Jim.
Ollie, don't let her go away. That's what. Does she have a response to that? Is she still there?
What's that?
Did the lady just leave?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. You should have kept that discussion.
She's back if you want her.
Yes.
She heard you.
Yes.
What'd you like to know?
I would like to know a response to what the gentleman said. The gentleman's a very effective spokesperson for the company, but obviously the people who live there are not satisfied with his explanation.
Right. So what do you want now?
Well, if I have to teach you how to be a reporter, Ollie, I'll do that later.
Why don't you do that later, Jim? I think the lady expressed herself, and you're not here, you're there. Is there any question you'd like me to ask her?
No, I'll give you lessons on how to become a reporter later
I'll
on.
give you some lessons on how to be an editor, because I was your boss once.
You were, and are no longer. How's that happen?
Well, I don't know.
Here's Aaron Miller.
Good morning, Jim. We are live.
Wow. I love it, dude. That's like Bill Bond's era shit there. You know what I mean?
Billy would have pulled that shit for sure.
Oh, it's great. And then there's one more, and this is, I believe, foreign language, but I think you'll understand what's going on anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, you can fast forward a little bit of this one too, or is it only 40 seconds?
It's pretty close.
Okay. She's got a little stomach issue going on. Something.
Naast jouw eigen programma, de beste misdaadprogramma's op televisie.
Ja, dat is toch het programma wat eigenlijk al jarenlang op de Nederlandse televisie te zien is. Het programma van Peter R. de Vries.
Ja.
Het is natuurlijk een beetje concurrent van me, maar ja, op zich...
Oh, shit.
Ja?
Oh my god.
Jongens.
Nou.
Ik heb een ongelukje. Ik ben...
She just shat herself?
Fuck.
No way, dude. Is that real?
Yeah, I think it is.
Nou, waardeloos zeg.
Yeah, and if you look at it, it's clear that she did. There
She
are
shat
some,
herself with white pants on.
Yeah.
And then ran away.
Yeah. Not good, huh? Oh,
These things happen.
dude, you would have to feel that coming a couple minutes before that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just be like, dude, time out. I can't do this right now.
Hey, got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. They have 5 locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers, most of which are brewed right here in Michigan. They have great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6, and half-off appetizers on Monday. Check out all their specials at all 5 locations at hamlinpubs.com. And, of course, September 16th, Saturday, come on out to the 22 and Hayes location to meet with us. We're going to be having a fun time out there with some trivia, some Biggie comedy, etc.
Yeah, we've got some great prizes, too. I don't know if we want to...
A lot of prizes.
We have a lot. Yeah.
Put it this way: even if you don't make it to the stage as one of the trivia contestants per se, come take part in the trivia. We'll be asking questions of a lot of people and giving away a lot of good prizes throughout the evening.
Yep. So we're looking forward to that. Again, that is Saturday, this coming Saturday, 5 o'clock start time. We'll go for a few hours at the Hamlin Pub, 22 in Hayes. And I believe we're about due for Mike Lindell to call in.
Hell yes.
All right, let's do it.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Hello.
Hello, this is Mike Lindell.
Hey, Mike. How are you, buddy? It's Mike and Jay from the Detroit Cast. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Jay. Mike, how you doing?
It's great to speak with you again,
Yeah.
sir.
I got to first start off by saying we love the new commercial.
Oh, you do? Well, I got 3 of them out. Which one are you talking about? The one where I'm inside the mirror?
It's the one that kind of tells your whole life story without any
Oh, yeah, that's a really good one, too.
That's
Yeah,
really
it's like
good.
a silent one.
Yeah.
I didn't think My Pillow commercial could be effective without hearing Mike Lindell's voice.
Yeah, your Your voice is so recognizable.
The patented Phil.
Yeah, we need you talking about the patented Phil. But we both watched it. Went, that was really good.
You got to see the one too where I'm inside a mirror and the guy opens it up and says, "You're that guy, my pillow guy."
Oh, okay.
There's another one I made at Sleep Well America. It's my factory, and this big wall opens up. We have quite a few out there. I really liked making that timeline one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is that just overall fun to take part in making commercials and?
Yeah, well, we do. We come up with all this stuff ourselves. And
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We do all our own marketing, everything.
Is it you and
like
Dawn? I just picture. I just picture a big pillow factory and then you and Dawn sitting in a conference room working on commercials. Is that how it goes?
No, there's Kim and Jessica. Dawn just takes care of you radio guys.
Yeah, she's great, man. We love Dawn. She's awesome.
Yeah, they all the radio stations. She loves doing that. They
Yeah.
all love her.
Well, she's effective, man. She's effective. We should also thank you again, Mike. You were so generous with us when we had our charity drive going for the homeless here in Detroit, and you donated hundreds of pillows. You gave $10,000, and it helped Big E, our other guy here on the show, win Volunteer of the Year award.
Volunteer of the Year for this organization.
And they're having a banquet for him, and a lot of the heavy lifting was done by you, sir.
Oh, awesome. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
And hey, along those lines, we heard you recently gave to hurricane victims in a big way.
Yeah, we when I heard about Hurricane Harvey that day, I think it was the next day, I'd heard there's like 30-some thousand people displaced, so I went overboard and I made 60,000 pillows. We made at 6 truckloads. We sent down semis, and I sent down a crew of my own people to help out down there to get them dispersed, and and then I found out we were actually a little short because I wanted to get all the people that were helping do pillows, and so we sent down another 20,000 last week, so we've got 80,000 we sent down there, and the stories, I'm down in Texas now, the stories hearing from people and everybody helping out, it's just amazing down here.
Yeah, Texas does it right. You could tell. I mean, the way people are helping each other out and their neighbors and coworkers, the stories are incredible. How did you first get? Is that something where you just go, I need to send a bunch of pillows, and you throw them on a truck and send them, or do you call someone and like how does that work? Do they know they're coming? Or
work through the Red Cross, or how'd you do that?
No, I didn't work through there. We have connections. I've been working on my own foundation, the LindellFoundation.org, for 2 years. In fact, we are going to be launching in Detroit actually about a month or two from now, and what it is, a pass-through entity where there's no overhead. I pay all the overhead, and you get to hear back the difference you made in their lives. Well, we've made all these connections already with people who are validators and verifiers out there that validate the needs. So we already had a lot of this stuff set up, and I just launched it early. And so when we sent our crew down there, we talked to churches and other organizations in and around Houston and south of there, and that's the delivery points, and then we actually helped them disperse them to the people that it was fast. I mean, this all happened within 4 or 5 days because of the stuff that was already set up. That's something I'm actually looking at too, well, down here in Texas, I've never seen a tragedy like this where everybody's got on board and it was so well organized. You know, it was just, but having my own, the groundwork that I had done with my own foundation, and then we put that up live too. So when they were announcing the pillows, people then were donating to the LindellFoundation.org, and I'm taking all that money. I'm actually have a meeting tomorrow in Dallas with my board, and we're gonna make sure it gets exactly to the people that need it, and we're gonna get videos from them so anyone that did donate will show 100% of where their money went and what it went for. And I think it's a blessing when people can give and actually know 100% of their money helped out.
Do you keep any of your money, Mike? It seems like every time we talk to you, you're throwing a ton of money away.
Well, God's got me on an amazing platform that, I love giving, and it's just I'm just blessed that I'm able to, and like my own foundation, I put $6 million into making that infrastructure over the last 2 years, and when I launch this, it's going to be so amazing for people to have a platform to give where there's all the trust is. This is going to be the most transparent, trusting foundation ever, where you can pick out where you want to give and then hear back from that person the difference you made in their life. So yeah, I just enjoy it, and it's that's my passion.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it's going to launch here in Detroit in the next month or two. How functionally does that work?
Well, we've got in Detroit. I actually started in the spring. That was gonna. You guys are gonna be my. Now it's gonna be with Houston too. But you were gonna be my first large city in the country to launch. I've done some testing in my home state of Minnesota, but so I've been to Detroit. I've met with like the shelters, the team challenges, all the good things that are going on in and around Detroit that are already going on. We've met with those leaders and these people that are running these, and what we're going to do when we come there, they're our validators. So they're actually right now as we speak, they're getting all these needs put together, individuals and stuff. And then when my foundation goes up there live, we're going to be on the radio stations like you guys and getting awareness here and having and everybody will go up and see all these needs, and then the general public, the private sector, will be putting money towards these and being able to hear back. And it's going to be a pretty big media event when we launch, and then we're going to set up like a chapter in Detroit of the Lindell Foundation where it's kind of like a hub of a bicycle wheel. All these help things, the shelters, with addiction, and then you have addictions, veterans, and homeless, and there's a lot of good people that are, you got these opiate addictions going on now. Back with me, it was crack. But I just, my heart goes out to the addicts and their families, and the pains they have that we can. I just want to,
Mike, I've run the numbers. When you mentioned the opiate addiction, do you even think it's possible to stop that train on the track that it's on? Because when I look at the numbers of people that are addicted to it and know the costs that it takes to truly get help for that, I just don't see that adding up. I don't know what you do, but there's a monster on our hands in this country that I don't think people fully understand yet.
No, they don't, and it's we've had these kind of. I don't think we've had an epidemic of this magnitude. I mean, we had the cocaine of the 1980s, and then we had the crack cocaine, and we had the methamphetamines, but you've got with opiates, it's different. There's such a people dying. I had somebody really close to me just die about a month ago and that was coming down off it. I mean, it's just it's grabbed our millennials, and it's grabbed our. It's just it is such an epidemic that it's it does. I mean, when you look at it as a whole, you're going, would we ever overcome this?
Yeah.
And I think you start with the individuals and you give them hope. And I really think, for me, I look back at my crack addiction. It's the same way with any drug. Pain. Drugs are masked for inner pain and stuff. Usually, it's stuff from childhood, and mine was like just a divorce. But a divorce can be devastating. But anyway, what I tell people all the time, when we start this, you're working with individuals, and one of the things individuals and families need to do is look and see. Everybody knows somebody that has been successful at getting off it. And what did they do? Really look at them and say, how did you guys deal with it? What did you do that was successful? And then people see hope, and even the user or their families see hope, and hope brings more hope. And I think you need to start with success stories and really get them out there, advertise what works, and that's another thing my foundation will be doing is showing these success stories where. And that gives the addict hope too, going, wow, there's hope for me. And I just think that's important. And I think that's where you start. You got to start somewhere. And there's a lot of the thing is with opiates too, there's so much of a physical addiction.
Yeah.
Along with the mental. And that physical addiction is something that really needs to be addressed. And I don't know if that answer is with other drug substitutes that help them come down, or that part I don't know, and I'm doing a lot of studying on that. But I think that's another side of it that compounds the problem.
And there's so much there's such a stigma with it too, and such shame involved that you don't see with other problems or issues that people have. People find it hard to feel bad for a junkie going through something because it's self-inflicted. They didn't get cancer. They did this to themselves.
Right.
And I know that's wrong, but I totally understand why people feel that way. because it's a very selfish behavior. Addiction
Well,
is.
it is, and people don't understand that, and they look from the outside, and then even ones that do understand it, they become they enable them, and they don't know what to do. Do I keep helping them? Do I not help them? Do I give them tough love? And the addicts themselves, and you're right, people don't want to reach out and help because they feel that I went through it. It's like he brought that on himself. He's a bad guy. Well, these addicts are not. They're good people that have had inner pains for a long time. And one of the things, if you're an addict out there, that I want to also bring up is one of the things, if you do, so many addicts relapse, and a lot of the reason they relapse is because of the shame, and they don't get trust. They come out of it, and a lot of them go, wow, I feel good finally, I got through it, and then people don't trust them.
Yeah.
And if they don't have that trust, they feel like they're just kind of waiting for the next thing to happen so they can relapse, and then everyone says, oh, he had a reason to relapse or whatever. But it comes down to trust and also just praying. The power of prayer and God is so powerful, and I think because you're not going to have, when you come out of getting help, a lot of people, it's a lonely feeling, and it can be, and it's a different lifestyle that they're not used to, and all those pains might still be there. I think any of these treatment centers and stuff, I think they're learning now to address why the person became an addict in the first place. In the old days, and they teach you in treatment, but going, oh, you spend all this money and nobody, everybody's upset with you and nobody loves you. Well, we're addicts. We already know that. We already have enough inner pains. We don't need to hear how bad we are.
Don't pile on.
Well, Mike, if there's one good piece of news, though, in regard to the opiate addiction, it's that, at least in my view, from an outsider who hasn't been addicted and looking at this versus crack cocaine and things, I mean, the opioids have really come about because they've been overprescribed by legit doctors to people who started out with probably some legit injuries, many of them. And so they're really, to me, there's less of a stigma on this one. It's the housewife next door. It's the 17-year-old daughter. It's people who aren't necessarily going out on the street getting this stuff, chasing it, but rather went to legit doctors and fell into this a bit more. It just seems
right. And you're correct. Like when you go back to the meth or the crack addict, I mean, that had a stigma. I mean, when people looked at me, they're going, you're a crackhead, and
yeah, that's a tough one. Crack is a tough one.
Crack is whack.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what everybody, people tell me, well, you were a crack cocaine addict for, 7 years and a cocaine addict for 20 and you quit overnight. And that's, all my friends have followed suit because it can be done. But when you talk about the opiates with doctors prescribing and stuff, the stigma is less. And that's the other part that's really hard is because it comes such a physical addiction,
It's a really expensive drug, too, and if doctors, like they're doing, pulling people off them, like, oh, now we know these are bad, so get everyone off them, and that withdrawal is brutal, and so people will just choose heroin, which is going to lead to devastating results,
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I say. I know they're looking at different things for substitutes, drugs that don't hurt you, that at least while they're maybe mentally or physically, so they don't have the physical comes down. I mean, they've experimented, Suboxone and these other different drugs, but I don't know if they had.
It's another opiate.
Another one.
That's the problem. That's the problem with Suboxone. It's another opiate.
Another opiate, but I mean, they are experimenting with another drug. I can't think of the name now, but if that gets approved, where it's non-addictive, but yet if they can get them through all the mental part of it, and then if you're, maybe slowly bring them off the physical. But I don't know. That's there's so many. Everybody's a little different with that, and I don't know. I've seen success stories, and I've heard, there's arguments both ways to use a drug to bring you off a drug. But
well, Mike, it goes without saying, if you need further help getting the word out about the foundation here in Detroit, definitely let us know. We'll help you with that. And obviously, if you're ever in town, open invitation, sir. Come sit in studio with us.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
We'd love to have you.
I'll be coming there soon. Like I say, and when I am there, I'll be there for about a month when we're launching this. And you guys will be the first ones. I'll let know when we're coming.
I love it, man, for sure. And I'm glad to hear you say, Mike, that your foundation, the Lindell Foundation.org, is going to be extremely transparent. I think that's important because you put a real target on your back when you started supporting Donald Trump for president, and I imagine people are going to attack you like they do most right-wing media personalities. Kid Rock's taking a beating right now. So it's the best thing for you is to be as transparent as possible because you know.
Well, interestingly enough, last summer, I've been on some very left-wing shows, and you'd be surprised they don't attack me as much as you think because actually, last summer Donald Trump reached out to me in a private meeting and said, and we talked about what we were going to do for the inner cities. I told him about my foundation, and he was all excited, and he said, this is going to be amazing, and I built skyscraper. I can rebuild the inner city. I'm going to help. We talked about the inner cities. We talked about God. We talked about the infrastructure in here. We talked about so many things, but he had brought me in because, it was everything he wanted. A made in America, all my employees, 1,600 employees, and he was, he goes, your company's everything I want to see here. And so I know where his heart is, so I can speak from the heart. If they attack me, I go, have you met the guy? I have, and I know where his heart is, and I know what he's going to do, and they can keep trying to block it, but he doesn't lose, and he's going to get there, and so many things are getting done now that you don't even know of, and you wait till everybody finally lets him get his agenda done. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know how much support he'll get, but I believe that too. I think he really does have the best intentions, and it's troubling to see the stuff get so mucked up the way it does in Washington. It's really infuriating. It's part of the reason he was elected was because people were so fed up with that stuff. But I hope you're right. It's in the best interest of the country. I don't care about right or left. It's in the best interest of all of us.
Right, and when the stuff I'm doing, in my home state there, and that I do locally. And I'm on a lot of TV, a lot of shows, and I'm on there, and I just tell it like it is. I met him. Here's what I know. He's, here's where his heart is. I even talked to his employees, and all of his employees had all good things to say about him. And I talked to hundreds of them over the last year. And isn't it funny? None of them came forward in the election cycle to say anything bad about him because they love him.
Yeah.
And he, it's like talking to my employees. Well, when I'm on these shows, I'm doing so much to the, that you just want done in this country. You want it's for both sides. We're one country, and if all this stuff that's going on and blocking and everything, nothing getting done in Washington because of one thing or another. I mean, if we unite and get it done, this can be pretty amazing. Look I just see what's going on down here in Texas, and I'm going, wow, look what we can do if everybody gets on board. It's just amazing.
Yeah, unfortunately, it takes a tragedy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it takes a tragedy, but I'm pretty amazed down here. You guys, I mean, all walks of life, and everybody just wants to, is helping, and the stories of people that are just blown away by the help they're getting too. It's just it's tearjerkers down here.
It's good to hear. Hey, speaking of politics, Mike, are you prepared on our show to announce that you're running for governor of Minnesota?
Everybody keeps asking me, governor, senator, president. Yeah, I've been approached by everyone. No, I've told them before that I have a bigger purpose for this country with the foundation, and it can do a lot more good than being stuck in a political.
Probably right.
Yeah. Before we let you go, I've always wondered, when a guy hits it as big as you have and gotten the success you've had and given to charities, I'd love to know what kind of toys you bought for yourself. Did you have the splurge moment and did you have the big mansion or the Lamborghini?
No,
I don't picture Mike in a Lamborghini.
If you talk to my friends, even when I didn't have $1 in my pocket, one gal put on Facebook, I would split that penny with you if I had a penny. But I spent the same money when I wanted to spend money on things I liked. I enjoy hunting and fishing, and when I wanted to take a trip, I just did it, even if I didn't have money. I didn't.
Just charge it.
So now I guess when you talk about it, I got to do a fly-in in Canada that I wouldn't have been able to do before. I mean, I've got to go to other countries that even though it's for my foundation, I wouldn't have had that opportunity before. But I don't buy big mansions. I live in a normal house. I drive a pickup truck, and that's what I'm happy with. And I'm learning how to eat with two forks. I get put in these places where they have these big dinners, and I'm going, okay, why do we get all these forks here? But I'm learning that.
Start on the outside and move inward.
Yeah.
Hey, last time we spoke, Mike, you told us about some hunting and some other near-death experiences. Any chance that you've had any recent near-death experiences?
No, I've had 14. My book's coming out now. It'll be right after the first year, I'm hoping. And I was just down here. I was telling some people yesterday about two or three of them that I've had, but I've had 14 of them, and I haven't had any lately.
Okay, good. Stay safe, man.
No, it's been pretty safe, I guess.
I can't wait for this book to come out, Mike. When is it going to come out? Do you have a tentative release date or anything?
I'm hoping right in the first quarter of this next year, and it keeps getting longer because some more epic things keep happening, but we've cut it off. The editor's got it now. We're going through it, and I'm just so particular because I want somebody to be able to go back in there and have proof that this happened. I have all these miracles of 1 in a million, 1 in a billion, 1 in a million. I want a person to look at their own life and add it up and go, wow. If you add that up, it had to be God. It had to be a miracle. And so there's so many messages in the book, and it's a story of hope. And it's one of these things where you read it and you're going, wow, this is the most, this is the greatest fiction book I ever read. And you find out it's not fiction, that it's all real. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it powerful. And I've got, I just want to make sure the details are in there and that everything's exactly spot on. So people can see that, I kept like receipts. I kept weird things like pictures, receipts all through my life, like this was all going to happen, and it really helps tell the story and sees where I'm at now, where it gets just surreal. It's like, here's a crack addict, and then all of a sudden, just a few months ago, I don't know if you guys know, I was invited to the White House for Made in America week on manufacturing. I was sitting right next to the president, and I'm going, wow, I'm pinching myself going, if I'd have looked back 3 years ago and went, are you kidding? I'm not going to be there.
I'm sitting here in a crack house with Ty, my guy Ty, and now here I am in the White House.
With Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I know.
What a trip.
Or times, or going from 5 employees to 540 days. I mean, different things like that. I just look back and go, how is that even possible,
Yeah, hey,
God's got his hand in it, I'm sure of it.
Speaking of
absolutely.
Speaking of your manufacturing spot there, your plant in Minnesota, any chance you give tours?
Absolutely. We give them all the time. We even have school kids, but you guys come out anytime. We give tours all the time.
Well, we want you to be there, though. I don't want some lackey dragging us around that plant. I want Mike Lindell giving us the tour.
And Dawn.
I will personally give you a tour, and I've done it myself too. I love doing that. It was funny. It was funny, you guys. I gave a media tour. This was there was probably 6 big stations, ABC, NBC. They were all there, and I gave a thing that could go wrong went wrong. And I started here. I hadn't sewn in a while, and I went to sew, and I didn't sew it right, and then my chair tipped over. And then in the middle of it all, I didn't like these new chairs we had bought for the sewers to sit on.
For the best night's sleep in the
president. Yeah, I've been approached by everyone. No, I've told them before that I have a bigger purpose for this country with the foundation, and I can do a lot more good than being stuck in a political.
Probably right.
Yeah. Before we let you go, I've always wondered, when a guy hits it as big as you have and gotten the success you've had and given to charities, I'd love to know what kind of toys you bought for yourself. Did you have the splurge moment and did you have the big mansion or the Lamborghini?
No,
I don't picture Mike in a Lamborghini either.
If you talk to my friends, even when I didn't have a dollar in my pocket. One gal put on Facebook, I would split that penny with you if I had a penny. But I spent the same money when I wanted to spend money on things I liked. I enjoy hunting and fishing, and when I wanted to take a trip, I just did it, even if I didn't have money. I didn't.
Just charge it.
You know, so now I guess when you talk about it, I got to do a fly-in in Canada that I wouldn't have been able to do before. I mean, I've got to go to other countries.
For the best night.
All of a sudden, you know, just a few months ago, I don't know if you guys know, I was invited to the White House for Made in America week on manufacturing. I was sitting right next to the president, and I'm going, wow, I'm pinching myself going, you know, if I'd have looked back 3 years ago and went, are you kidding? I'm not going to be there.
I'm sitting here in a crack house with Ty, my guy Ty, and now here I am in the White House.
With Donald Trump.
Yeah, I know.
What a trip.
Or times, you know, or going from 5 employees to 540 days. I mean, different things like that. I just look back and go, how is that even possible, you know?
Yeah, hey,
God's got his hand in it, I'm sure of it.
Speaking of
absolutely.
Speaking of your manufacturing spot there, your plant in Minnesota, any chance you give tours?
Absolutely. We give them all the time. We even have school kids, but you guys come out anytime. We give tours all the time.
Well, we want you to be there, though. I don't want some lackey dragging us around that plant. I want Mike Lindell giving us the tour.
And Dawn.
I will personally give you a tour, and I've done it myself too. I love doing that. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny, you guys. I gave a media tour. This was there was probably 6 big stations, ABC, NBC. They were all there, and I TVC. Gave a thing that could go wrong went wrong. And I started. I hadn't sewn in a while, and I went to sew, and I didn't sew it right, and then my chair tipped over. And then I did. And then in the middle of it all, I didn't like these new chairs we had bought for the sewers to sit on, so I stopped the tour and I called over, and a lot of this was live, and I called over one of my managers. I said, I want all new chairs put in here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. I will not sit on this chair, and if I won't use it, my employee sure. I do not want an employee use it. If it's not something I would use myself.
by 4 o'clock. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, we did. He had we had 200. It was a line of 200. We had 200 brand new chairs in there. I said, Bob, I want it just like the ones you would sit on. You know, I want brand new cushy chairs. They got to sit in those sewing machines. You know, I used to do it myself, and I always said back when I had when I worked for someone else, I said, you know what? If I ever have a company, I'm going to put everything I do with it is going to be looking at myself from the employee's point of view, what I would like. Mm-hmm. And boy, we have just a happy company, and you know, if I didn't like it as an employee back then, we don't have it now. I mean, I was at one point I didn't like HR. I got rid of my whole HR department. That was a few years ago. Now I go. That sounds horrible. I don't want them.
It's fun governors.
Yeah, a bunch of fun governors. Beat it. Get out of here.
Yeah, now we have an employee help center. Basically, we just help them. It's my foundation right within the company where they come to us, and usually we watch for deviations. If something's wrong with someone, we find out why, and we get them help. You know, wherever that may be, as much as we can. And
yeah. Well, it sounds simple enough, Mike. It's a shame that more companies don't have that attitude. Truly, it shouldn't be a rare thing, but I know it is, and we're gonna hold you to that. We're gonna come and tour your facility with you.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love to have you guys there.
Yeah, seriously,
absolutely awesome.
Seriously,
yeah.
we can't wait.
Hey, lastly, any new products you're pushing right now?
I just came out. We're gonna be doing a bed topper infomercial in 2 weeks. It's the most amazing, one of the most amazing bed toppers I've ever invented. It goes right on top of your bed. I've got that coming out. That, you know, even if a new bed, old bed, doesn't matter. These are amazing. And then I have my beds, my regular beds that I came out with. We have 2 versions. One's the bed in the box, and that's amazing. Then our other bed that I came up with, I reverse engineered everything. I went to this bed company in Minneapolis. I've been in business 100 years. I said, I want to know every part that's ever been put inside of a bed and what it does. And then I hand-picked what I wanted to give you great Delta sleep. And so, but yeah, I got all kinds of stuff I'm working on. And if, you know, I get approached by at least 50 inventions a week, and I've only unless they help people, or I never pursue them, because I'm not about here's this will make this much money, and this return rate will be this. It's got to help people.
Mike, I've got a brilliant idea for a company. I don't even want to say it on the air, but I don't know that it's going to help people. But I would promise, like, if you funded me, I promise that I would give a lot of it to charity and stuff, so it would help that way.
Right.
I'm thinking about my.
Oh yeah, no, this is a good idea, Mike, and we're not saying it on the air. It's that good idea.
This will be cut.
Okay, you guys call me. You got my number. You can call me when we get off there.
Yes. Hey, Mike, before we let you go, is there any chance you'd give us a show ID?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, for sure.
We're recording, so you can go whenever.
Okay. Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and you're listening to Mike and Jay of the Detroit Cast, one of my favorite radio stations and shows in the country.
You're awesome, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much, man. And we'll send people.
You guys are too. We enjoy watching. I enjoy watching the Twitter for a while there. You guys had those little cutouts all over the place.
Oh, I took you everywhere. I had a Mike Lindell day. I took you all over town.
That went viral around town. You're up in the tree.
Up in the tree. That was my wife with you, up in the tree.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, Mike Lindell, get out of that tree with my wife.
We'll keep sending people to mypillow.com, and congratulations with launching the Lindell Foundation. You can go to the lindellfoundation.org and keep doing what you're doing, Mike. And we'll see you in Minnesota soon, and to get our tour.
That's awesome, guys. God bless. See you later.
All right,
care.
buddy.
Thanks.
See ya.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com. It's Mike and Jay. God, it's always fun catching up with Lindell, isn't it?
Love that guy.
Yeah.
He's 1B.
Yeah. You declared him number one for a while there, and then I was like, what about Gab?
Declared him my favorite person. He reminded me of my lovely wife and kids, and so I put him at 1B.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I think, dude, the thought of going to his warehouse and getting a tour from him, which leads to dinner. We'll probably spend the night at his house.
My only question is, will we be wearing hard hats or shower caps?
Dude, it's a pillow facility, not a nuts and bolts facility.
Probably.
If a pillow falls on my head, we'll be all right.
Great
deal.
point. Then it's got to be the
What do you
shower
guys need a
cap,
hard hat
right?
for? It's a pillow company.
It's got to be he's going to have to wear one of those beard things, right?
Well, he's not going.
Oh, good point.
Yeah,
Great
why would
point.
we bring E there? Shit, we want to come off looking good with our new best friend, Mike Lindell.
But you're right. You're exactly right. It would turn into dinner.
Yeah.
We'd be shooting skeet and stuff, right?
And we'll say,
guys, you want to go shoot some clay? Yes, Mike, I do.
Of course. Yeah, I want to go crash through some ice with you.
The duck's warmth actually saved my life because I passed out in the snow.
And then we'll alligator on the check at dinner. Like, oh, no, we got this, Mike.
Gotta run to the bathroom real quick.
Guys, just stop it. What, are you kidding me? Not letting my guys pick up the tab for dinner. Forget it. All right, Mike. You've just been so generous already.
What if we found out he was putting it on the foundation card? Would we have to disclose that? Would you feel compelled? Would you be like, dude,
how would we know? Would
he
we
said
get
100% was like going to charity.
Yeah.
He just bought us dinner. Boy, that would be a real conundrum.
So what, we get like a 1040 at the end of the year or something from him? Like what?
No, I'm suggesting he'd be misusing funds.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is just.
I would never do that, guys. Full disclosure, very transparent.
I believe it, man. This guy.
Actually, that's a real pain in the ass to do. To be able to, you'd think it'd be simple to start a foundation and go, I want 100% of the money that comes in to go to the veterans or to go to this. When we did our CD, the Drew and Mike CD, that's how Drew wanted it set up, and it was a mountain of a pain in the ass to set it up that way. It took forever to get it where it was just like, I don't want to wait 6 months. If a cop dies in the line of duty, I want to cut his wife a check for 10 grand on the spot. And it was not easy to do.
It takes a long time to get approved for a 501c.
Yeah.
Which is the nonprofit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, well, I'm glad he's doing it. He's got the resources, so that tour's going to be amazing.
Great guy.
Did you see, speaking of the hurricane and what's going on down there where he's at now doing a lot of his charity work?
Doing God's work.
That's right. God's got a hand in this. I just know it. Disney has been accused. Disney World.
Not the happiest place on earth.
Yeah, well, a little bit of price gouging going on.
Oh, Disney. Yeah, of course. They've been price gouging us for decades.
What are you talking about? Just now?
Honestly...
Have you ever seen the price of their tickets?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that's what they do. They gouge.
Tickets.
Gouge.
What about freaking buying? I mean, I haven't been there in a long time, but I can only imagine buying a pop or a hot dog. Or chicken fingers for $20.
But when you get in that, really, I just don't believe this story. To be honest with you, I see it here, and it's one of those where someone takes a picture and tweets it, and then it's like, what a bunch of monsters. You know, Mickey Mouse is ripping off people in need.
Right.
And so they've got these wee little bottles of water, and they're like $2 each. And $2.50 for a little juice thing.
Did anyone check their prices honestly a month ago?
Well, yeah, I don't know, but it looks like they've got them out on a special table set up for people coming in from the.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? It doesn't look like one of their gift shops
Right.
where you would expect $5 for a Gatorade.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, so they've been accused of price gouging now during Hurricane Irma because they're down in Orlando. Is it Orlando they're at?
Yes.
Dude, I haven't been there since I was fucking 6. I don't know. Yeah, selling expensive drinks and snacks to stranded people. Mrs. Bruns, Jennifer Bruns from Northbrook, Illinois, is the one that lashed out. Of course, had to take this to social media. See if it can't embarrass everyone. She was appalled by Walt Disney World's price gouging after posting a photo on Twitter of a small water for $2 and $2.50 for the juice, while the rest of us are digging deep to make donations at Disney. Is price gouging guests stranded on property. #shameful.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I think that's their normal price.
Yeah.
I would not doubt it for a second if that
Okay.
was their absolute normal price.
She goes on, this is a time for corporations to show gestures of compassion and goodwill, not time to make more of a profit. $15 for a hamburger? Shameful.
Shame.
Totally appalled. Yeah, people love that shame thing.
Shame.
A spokesman for the park told a local media there, an overanxious cast member, they call them cast members.
Oh my gosh.
Not everybody's a cast. She's just a cashier.
I think we have a listener who's a cast member. Maybe she can shed light on this
Well,
story.
she's an Imagineer, I think.
Oh,
or
is that
something.
right? Well,
That
she's
sounds
above
like
cast member.
That sounds like a real position.
I think it's
though.
an Imagineer. I think that's what it's referred to.
Do you call like the guy that's got that the broom in one hand and the thing that opens up?
Cast member.
Really?
Yep.
He's not just a
He's not
lot.
a janitor. He's not a custodian.
Are you shitting me?
He's not a trash man. He's a cast member, I think. And then anybody
So he walks
above
around and he
that's
just like sweeps up cigarette butts
Yeah.
and errant, candy
Oh,
sticks
I think
or
he's
whatever.
definitely a cast member.
Really? He gets a cast
Whereas
member?
I think
It's
the
all this idea.
Imagineer.
It's all this idea that they're all part of the magic, Mike. No one's just picking up garbage. They're part of the Disney magic.
Dude, if it was truly magic, you wouldn't be walking around doing that all day.
There's not a cleaner place on earth, Mike.
I know. It's pretty spectacular. And their opening is tremendous, too, when you get there.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh, my God.
Yeah, the song they all sing.
The train.
To all the anxious kids in the parking lot.
Got Jiminy Cricket just getting down.
It's kind of a titties open, though, you got to admit. I mean, that's pretty spectacular.
The anticipation, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
You see kids just like waiting with bated breath. And then to me, it's like you got to have in your head the map of that park. You got to know exactly where you're going as soon as that door opens, and you got to move quickly.
Yeah.
So if you're going Dumbo ride, right away, you better get there quick, man.
Yeah.
Because 90% of the others are going there too.
Would you mind, by the way, if I stole Sweet Pie for a week?
No, not at all. You can take her.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Because
you can have her.
here's the thing. My sister and my mom are trying to plan a trip to Disneyland in California in February, I think. And they really want Beth and I to go with Reed and, Madison and Marshall, like have all the kids and all of us, and they're going to go spend some time there. I was like, Beth, we could probably take Sweet Pie to Disneyland with us.
You need a prop? So
Yeah, I was like, I want to have a kid too. Everyone else has kids. Could borrow Sweet Pie.
Again with the yada yada.
Yeah, you can take her.
She'd have a ball with us. I just don't know what you do with them, like when they get upset about something. You know what I mean? Or they have a problem.
No, she's easy.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as long as you say, like, I'd probably call you a dozen times a day.
She'd probably ask me, what do I do when Mike gets upset about something when he has a problem? Like, just change his diaper.
Line! Just go to the line!
Just change his diaper and be done with it.
I would take good care of her, I promise. So, yeah, there was an over-anxious cast member made a mistake on the pricing sheets in a rush to look after those trapped in the hurricane. So this cast member was in such a rush that they overpriced the shit out of all these. Something doesn't sound right with that. I'm going to say this is a one-off cast member.
Yeah, that explanation of we care too much.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, really?
Yeah,
I accidentally pushed 15 instead of 5 for the price of the hamburger.
Yeah. This was an isolated incident, situation, and the park is offering a variety of food and beverages available at discounted prices. So I don't know how this happened. To me, Disney's big enough that it's like they're not going to try to take advantage of people like that. Like this, I believe,
Absolute
honestly.
Fool.
Yeah, there's no way it's like, well, we could make an extra $50 on this table alone. Like Disney gives a shit about that.
Did you see that car dealership with FSU, Florida State they have their their on campus parking garages, and they were like offering them up to regular just people that you can park your car in here so it won't be screwed over by the hurricane. And this Infinity dealership parked all their cars in there.
What?
Yes.
Are you shitting me?
I am not shitting you, dude.
Move on over.
It's not a bad call. I mean,
wow.
First come, first serve, motherfucker. Should have got there early. That's hilarious.
And actually, there's a drama when I typed it in today, because this was a few days ago, I believe, a day or two ago. But when I typed it in today, it says the Infinity drama continues. Cars still parked in the garage.
You know who wouldn't pull shit like that? Zott Ford and Holly. Zott Ford, they need your trade-in. The hottest sales staff in Oakland County has sold so many pre-owned vehicles. They must restock the lot. If you own an incredibly nice vehicle and want more cash than you think it's even worth, take it to Zott Ford and Holly now. Also, check out a new 17 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive, leasing for as low as $188 a month, only from Zott Ford and dealsinthed.com.
Do you blame that dealership for doing that? I mean, once you got like 30 cars in the lot, wouldn't someone be like, this just doesn't feel right, man?
I wonder if there's an explanation, like there was an inquiry made, like, hey, FSU, is anybody using this? Is anybody taking advantage of your offer? No, not really.
Yeah.
Can we bring over like 50 cars? Yeah, go ahead. I mean, it looks like...
That would make sense because most people are either going to get out of town with their car, or I don't know. 2 days before the storm, you're going to go park it in this FSU garage. Like that doesn't make much sense either. So I don't know. Maybe it's as simple as that. But
I mean, it looks
funny though.
On here, there's a thing where it says a dealer will be issued a citation for each car they park. The city carries a fine of up to $500 or 60 days in jail. I don't think.
You don't think they had the okay to do this?
Yeah, the okay to do it.
Well, the optics are bad.
Yeah, they are. What are you?
Oh, nothing. You're right. It's just I think there were students like tweeting out like, "Hey, I pay tuition. Can I park my car and stuff?" I mean,
awesome.
See, Pope Frank is picking another fight with Trump.
Well, Frank is feeling pretty tough after taking that jack to his eye.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He's probably feeling pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I don't mean to get on the
the Catholic Church is all over the DACA issue. Is that where you're going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he's doing some wordplay, and he's trying to make this like clever thing fit. Like you can't be pro-life. Well, if you ended DACA.
Here's the disconnect. Like you have a moral issue in what Pope Frank is trying to get across, and then you have a nation of laws.
Right.
And nobody's saying, Trump included, that what the right answer is here. He's just saying that in our nation of laws, what Obama put into place doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So because we have this system, this really cool system we have, we're going to give it back to Congress and we're going to let them deal with it.
We're going to try to fix this once and for all.
So we don't just, we don't have a king here who just decides what's right and what's wrong and what's morally attractive.
We have a constitution.
Yeah.
And we kind of stick by that.
So why the criticism from Frank, man?
I find myself going, Pope, stay in your lane. Like, know where you are and stay in your lane. And I don't know. I've heard some people say, well, this is obvious. I mean, it might have been Bannon on 60 Minutes. Wasn't he saying, like, Well, obviously the Pope, or whoever being down on this, they need these people coming into the country.
Yeah, Bannon turned it into an economic thing.
Yeah.
Like the church is down, they need funds, so of course they want to protect the illegals who tend to be Catholic.
Yeah.
And they're going to
be down on their luck and not as, whatever. So they need prayers and they come here and,
give us money ultimately.
Yeah, give us money. The president of the United States presents himself as pro-life, and if he is a good pro-lifer, he understands that family is the cradle of life, and its unity must be protected. So he's pissed off about that.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Frank's thinking about the forest. He's thinking about the larger issue. I get it.
Yeah.
But, before you start lodging criticism at world leaders, you got to look at the system in which they're operating.
Well, he operates in a system where he's king in what he does. Vatican is an actual city that prints their own money, and he's the leader of it, and so I don't know. It just is this something that traditionally has gone on? Yeah, it's its own country. You're right. There was a deal with like Italy or something in the hundreds of years ago, but is that something traditionally popes do? Do popes come out and
do they meddle?
Do they meddle? Yeah, or do they stay in their lane?
I think there's a long history of popes being very political.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't pay that much attention. Like, I don't know why it doesn't surprise me, but it really bothers me when Obama keeps sticking his nose into the news cycle. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, traditionally, presidents go, that's a really tough job, and I don't care what's going on. It's not my job to second guess what that guy's doing.
Yeah, but the rules don't apply to Trump. You know that.
I guess.
It's on.
Yeah. But just to keep popping in like this is wrong, and then this whole thing, it's like, dude, George Bush, that guy just went away. No matter what Obama was doing, he just stayed out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Bill Clinton kind of did the same thing. Not my job anymore. Not my place. They have enough on their head. I thought that was interesting though about the Vatican. Because when he's talking about before he was attacking him about the whole building walls thing. Better to build bridges, not walls. And people are like, oh yeah, well you got a big giant wall around the Vatican. What's that all about? And so you get these big fights back and forth. It's like, well, technically the front door is always open. We would never turn poor people away.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't either. By the way, Pope did not install that wall. It was installed years ago from savages who wanted to kill him. So we had to put a wall up. And so I was looking it up. And
have you ever seen his personal guards, by the way, the Vatican guards? They wear the most garish outfits ever. You won't believe these guys.
Like, they want to stand out?
Well, yeah, they're not. Yeah, it's not like camouflage.
Well, no, I didn't. Like Secret Service, it's like you don't know
Correct.
They're there.
No, these dudes. Pull them up, E. I mean, they're the most garish, cartoonish, Disney-looking outfits. I know.
Look at those dudes.
Isn't that something?
That is awesome.
But apparently, the highest level of these dudes are really, really highly trained and will kill your ass in a moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Those outfits are absurd. Why
have I never seen those? You couldn't make them more absurd.
No. I mean, that has to be done on purpose to, like, right? You wouldn't
just fall into that outfit? No, I don't think you do. I think that is on purpose.
I mean, did Versace design these or something? Like, Pope, stick with me on this. I'm gonna.
Looks more Wang to me, but yeah, I do see a Versace influence.
What are those sticks and what are those metal things at the top of them?
Yeah, they're like spears, man.
Wow. That is a cool. I can't
but apparently these dudes are vicious.
Yeah.
Like
so
badasses.
Don't
mess with them.
I wasn't gonna mess with the Pope, dude. I swear. Like, I don't care if he walked in here and like shit on the floor. I'm not gonna mess with him.
Country. Don't mess with his wee little country.
Vatican City is an independent city-state that covers just over 100 acres, making it 1/8 the size of New York Central Park. It's governed as an absolute monarchy with the Pope at its head. The Vatican mints its own euros, prints its own stamps, issues passports and license plates, operates media outlets, and has its own flag and anthem. I didn't know that.
Dude, don't you read any Dan Brown books, man?
No.
Da Vinci Code? No?
No.
Yeah.
Over my head. I'm not smart enough to read that stuff.
Apparently they have tons of treasures within their libraries and their museums and all that.
Don't they have a lot of gold, too? I thought
yeah,
like a shitload of
They're
gold.
rich sons of bitches.
They make their money. How do they make their money, smart guy?
I don't know, Mike.
Oh, wow. You knew everything, all this stuff.
Print it, maybe?
Yeah, they could. They do. No, I guess from museum admission fees, because they don't get taxed. So
how they make their money. Got it. How they
generate. Not how they press it. It's almost a Mike hat
Right. Well, yes.
Yeah, they got a press.
They
got this
make
press.
their money.
Yeah, admission fees from the museum, stamp and souvenir sales, and contributions. Doesn't seem like it'd be enough to finance everything. Those
Dude, the
contributions
Catholic
are huge.
Church.
I know.
Worldwide.
I know, but so if I donate
all that
to the
hundreds
Catholic
of millions
Church,
of members.
if I tithe $10 to the Catholic Church down the street, Pope's taking a piece of that.
Yes.
What are they sending $2 to the Pope?
Believe me, the first thing they're funding is the Vatican. The Vatican will never be underfunded.
So the Vatican is just collecting checks from every
I'm
Catholic
not saying
church.
they're taking it all in and keeping it, but they are definitely getting first crack at whatever money they need. It's their home base, man.
Dude, they're like a mafia on a street corner in the 50s. Like, yeah, we'll offer you protection
Dude,
in
you
your
gotta read
neighborhood.
the Da Vinci Code, man.
It just looks so long. I don't even know what.
Just watch the movie.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Is it good?
Yes.
For real? Yeah.
The book was better than the movie.
Well, it's always better than the movie.
You know what? Let me do one more quick story, Jay, and then maybe we can do some extra content. I have a ton of stories here, but
let's do that.
We got to the Mike Lindell interview, so a lot of things had to go bye-bye. So we'll do some extra content with those stories. But one that's relevant for the whole crew out here, Kasey Redfern, Lions punter.
Dude, he's out, man. He's got like 3 tears or something.
He got tackled once.
He got crushed.
Son of a bitch.
He did get smoked. I'll give him that. But it's not like he was hit in the shoulder, and he was planted.
Yeah.
But hit in the. It's not like someone rolled up on his knee.
It is exactly how you stated it on Sunday. It's like you or me, any other mere mortal guy, getting out there, and taking the field with these absolute animals.
Yeah, with a linebacker at full speed,
Yeah.
just creaming you.
Well, and they're seeing this punter dude, and he's fair game
in
at
the
this
crosshairs.
point. Right.
Yeah, and they have to love that when it's like, you know, when you get an opportunity.
You remember playing?
Yeah.
You wanted to blow somebody up every time you could.
Hell yeah, but when you line up and you see like, oh, that son of a bitch thinks he's going to take the turn, does he? And you want that hit more than other ones, to just cream a punter or the quarterback when he throws a pick, and it's like, oh, now we're going your way, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So yeah, he tore his anterior cruciate, his medial collateral, and a tendon in his patella. Dude, that's the trifecta. That's major surgery.
He's trying to make a play.
I still don't know how
he was thinking. Did he think? I think for a second he must have thought he could get a first down.
Yes, he was thinking like you and I would think, like, oh, there's space right there. I'll run there. He was not thinking that guy who's going to close on me runs a 4.3 40.
Yeah,
and he's 240 pounds.
Did you guys see? You probably didn't, but McCaffrey made his debut in the NFL from Stanford. Rookie.
Okay, yeah.
Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, Ed McCaffrey's son. And he plays for Carolina Panthers, who were playing the Niners, which is why I watched it. And he looks absolutely mortal out there. You know, you see flashes of moves. He is not used to facing a defense or a special teams unit where really big guys move that fast.
A lot of people wanted the Lions to take him if he was there.
I didn't. I saw him, and
because he's white. Why, Mike?
Well, partly because he's white. I'll be honest, dude. There's like having a white running back that's not a fullback it's just not that appealing to me. I'm just being honest. But the other thing is, he looked like a Reggie Bush guy to me. He looked like a guy that was going to be amazing in college, and the speed was everything.
Yeah.
But you just know the speed difference between college and pros is night and day.
Yeah.
And so you're just not going to fly past those guys like you did. And he, you know. They kept feeding him the ball. And it was just like,
Oh, McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's early in his career, but so I guess the Lions had worked out 5 punters, and I guess they're going to sign Jeff Locke. They've probably done it already.
Former
today,
Viking, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. So, this poor kid, undrafted out of Wolford.
Well, the thing
makes his NFL debut and blows up everything in his knee out.
Well, it was a really important injury too, because our kicker, whose name escapes me right now, does not kick off, and he certainly doesn't punt.
Yeah.
And so Redfern was being counted on for that, and he goes out in the first quarter or early second, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then you gotta put him into.
Oh yeah.
The name escapes me. You got it.
Shit.
Whatever.
Are you
move on.
kidding me? Yes,
hey,
dude.
Mark Leibovitz.
No, hold on. There was more there. Jeff Locke is going to be doing the kickoffs too.
There you go.
When they bring him in, and Sam Martin, I didn't know this, but in the offseason, he's apparently out for another 5 weeks for an unfootball related injury. And the coach, was asked like, oh, "What do you think about this?" And he just walked away. Like, "Are you pissed that your punter got hurt in the offseason in a non-football injury?"
Oh, Samuel.
And so whatever Sam did, Coldwell's not fucking happy about it. Prater, by
Matt
the
Prater,
way.
yeah.
Boom! Got there without
Mike
a bing
didn't
machine.
need a bing machine.
I don't need a bing machine.
I don't know the team, and I don't know.
I was
players.
having a conversation with
Dude,
Jay and came up
he
with
had a
Prater.
2-minute
I
conversation.
could have named you the player if you gave me an hour.
Oh,
I don't
Jesus.
care. I don't know who the players are.
Fucking Detroit Lions kicker. You know how to search that?
No, I
God
know,
damn you
but
to hell.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he's saying that he was able to think of it in the conversation. I'm just saying I would never have known who he was. I didn't know who the kicker was. That's what I was saying.
I'm basically a mental bing machine here, so
Yeah.
blame me. What do you got, Jay?
Our buddy Mark Leibovitz. Does your money work as hard as you do? You will spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, and set aside money for retirement. Let Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial help to make sure your money is working as hard as you are. Call today. Tell him you are a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark. And Merck, as well as many other sponsors, I think are going to be there Saturday.
Great.
And I guarantee you there will be a Merck-related question, at least one, in the trivia contest.
We should mention, too, Gabarra was nice enough to offer up one of the prizes is going to be a weekend with a F-150.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
Get
was
an F-150 and rag the hell out of that for a weekend?
Yeah, he hopes you don't do that.
I meant drive that. Drive
Yeah,
that, have
he said
have a
your
good time.
your last winner was so good. I think it was Matt won. He's like, he was just so good. He's like, that's a dream, man. When
Yeah.
you get someone that's respectful of your truck, but someone wants to go coast to coast.
Take it, yeah.
You have a weekend. You have a weekend.
Head on up to Houghton.
Yeah. So
celebrate
that'll be
Detroit
one of the
Cast Iron.
prizes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Thanks for tying up that read for me.
Yeah.
Appreciate
No problem.
Did that say that 45 years we're supposed to be saving for our future working?
Oh, it says you'll save for upwards of 45 years, Mike.
Oh, shit.
It didn't
boy.
say 4 to 5 years. It said 45 years.
Which means if I was supposed to be saving for my future for 45 years, that means I have to work till I'm 90.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to die in a shelter.
You're up against it.
Oh, I'm so going to die in a shelter.
Hey, we've got a nice post here from Nashville. Gents, a very impaired hello from Nashville. Another day, another business trip. Hope all is well. This town rocks. Keep it up, Mike. And we got the old, some days you step in it, some days you don't. Nashville, shit happens.
I hear Nashville's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been there.
I've stopped there on trips and things, but yeah, with family. Hey, fellas, this is from the beautiful city of Fountains, Kansas City, Missouri. Went to the World War I Museum today, and it was great. Well worth going to. Has our resident history buff been there?
No.
The
I've
World
been to
War
Kansas
I?
City, but I haven't been to that place.
And then we have some interesting facts about the gas masks appearing here on. When the United States entered the war on April 6th, 1917, the Army did not possess poison gas defenses. Various models were already in use were tested, including a British version, a French, and the German version there. Those are ugly, aren't they?
Yeah.
Dude, old gas masks are kind of creepy.
Yeah, I
They're
always
very
think you're right.
creepy.
They're very horror movie-esque.
Yeah, dude.
This, like, that looks like a cartoon character. Like, these look like Muppets or something.
I know.
Like, that's really weird. As long as they're effective, though.
Yeah, I think they were really looking for effectiveness and not the aesthetics of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could do a horror movie with that. Some guy in a gas mask.
Yeah,
Maybe they
hell
have.
yeah.
Kelly writes in with an on-air shout-out, her being a Nana member. Hey, Jay, I'd like to use my on-air shout-out to wish my sister Amy a very happy 30th birthday, even though she asked me if I was going to be utilizing my Nana member shout-out to wish her a happy birthday.
Not a shock. Not a shock.
Whoa, who the hell solicits an on-air happy birthday? Anyway, happy birthday, little sis. I hope your 20s rest in peace, thoughts and prayers, and all that shit. Looking forward to celebrating Saturday night with some TDC trivia at Hamlin Pub. Well, Amy,
Nice.
congrats on emerging from your mom's vagine today.
Yes.
And I'd like to congratulate you, too, Mike. Today's your
you.
birthday, and today you flopped out of Pat's vagine and entered the
It's
world,
history.
as it were.
Yep.
And then you suckled on your mom's dime sizers.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
Happy birthday.
And all the well wishes from people. It's been nice. Appreciate that.
Mike writes in concerning, let's see, Big E, the expert on Jackass. Tell me more about how him is a death metal band, I
I don't know
guess.
anything about him.
Well,
I've seen him once. I don't know much about him. I did not remember what kind of band they
But you
were.
declared it to be a death metal band. I would think you would know what death metal is if you saw him once.
Moreover,
I don't know.
that's Mike's point exactly. You owned Heartgram Heartagram shoes.
Those were for Bam. Those weren't for him.
And you've seen him live.
Yeah.
They are a death metal band, I guess.
I don't know.
Poser. Just give up on life, Mike.
Poser.
He called you a poser.
I never said I liked him. I actually only went to the him concert because I was trying to go with this girl who really was in love with Bam Margera and him. And I just said it was okay. That's kind of all I said. Bam was the one who loved him, not me. Ask Bam what kind of music they are.
Yeah, but you saw him.
Dude, you saw him.
Honestly, I don't know what kind of music it was. Metal, I don't know.
I'm not familiar.
The idea of a poser is ridiculous. I don't know. I couldn't name you a song by them. I couldn't name a CD by them. All I said is I saw them once and they weren't terrible. That was 10 years ago.
Mark writes in, concerning Paradise Hotel. Maybe my favorite hate watch ever. I've referenced Paradise Hotel and my love for it over the years.
Oh, the reality show?
The reality show.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Paradise.
It was so bad, dude.
Yeah.
And it honestly, they made up the rules as they went. They didn't know how it was going to end. They honestly made it up. They had a sequence where they were allowing people, viewers, in the middle of the show to like write in and qualify to be put into the show. And they did. They moved a guy named Dave in there who was just a dork. He was a nerdy guy.
I vaguely remember this. I'm trying to remember which one this was. This was a Fox show.
Yeah. And the whole thing, it was
like,
just,
who were the was there an obnoxious like
there was
blonde-haired white guy?
Tony, the muscle chick, who Mark points out, yelling with huge bug eyes, "Excuse me, Yahtzee, game on!" Do you remember those scenes?
Yeah, I think we pulled drops from this.
Dude, then there was Zach and Amy. Remember Zach and Amy? Keith and the girl who won it all by laying in bed the
What was
whole
it
show.
called again?
Paradise Hotel. Do you remember that $10,000 was up for grabs for the winning couple? I do remember it being a paltry sum. I can't remember how it worked, but a double cross ended the show. There was a second series that seemed like it got canceled a third of the way through. I remember people being paired up, okay?
Yeah.
And then as they paired up, it was sort of like a game of musical chairs. If you were left without a date that night, somebody to sleep with that night, you were exposed to possible vote off, although it wasn't for sure that you were voted off. It was just like they were just making up rules, man. All right, that's the new one. That is not the original. Jesus is so bad at this.
Yeah.
I wrote in Paradise
It's
season
just
1. I've never
so-
watched it.
it's-
I put in Paradise Hotel season 1. I've never watched it before.
The point is,
that's
man,
The Bachelor or something.
That's not The Bachelor.
That's Bachelor in Paradise.
Because it's a Fox show. I'm positive of it.
Okay.
Yeah. It was great, though. And I'm told every season is on YouTube. You can check them all out. So if you want to binge watch something awfully stupid, Paradise Hotel.
I think one of those had an incident that happened midway through the season, right? Am I
An incident?
I thought there was an incident that canceled it mid-season.
Oh, that's what he's referring to the second go around. They tried to bring it back like 10 years later.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think it did get canceled. I think the incident was probably low ratings. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Jay writes in, I'm with you guys about celebs leaving a way larger carbon footprint than mere mortals. Basically, celebs say, look, listen, I need everyone in the world except me to really watch how much bad shit you do to this planet so you can offset my terrible carbon footprint I'm leaving. Eric, glad to hear some lady wanted to get it on with your hamburger meat dong. Good job, old boy. Jay.
Yeah. He's right.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it's infuriating because most of us are just going through life like day to day with shit to do and actual worries and actual problems. And when you get to that level of megastar, you don't like, you can be frivolous and like get involved in project. Like most people don't have time to do that shit. You know, oh, we need to take care of the turtles. They're dying. It's like, dude, do your thing, man. Fucking leave me alone. I got work to do.
Turtles. Save the rest for tomorrow.
All right, very good. Well, we'll pop into extra content.
Yes, indeed.
And talk. I've got a few more stories for us to get through. Jay, so if you're one of the members, join us over there. If not, we will see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. Detroit Cast continues.